Welcome to the New Shooter 101 Instructor Clinic. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Jeff Bickford. The purpose of this forum is to provide a place where firearms instructors can exchange ideas for training beginners in defensive handgun skills. Today's topic is working with a partner in an armed self-defense situation.
Threat!
Today I'm joined with Wu Chen. We're both firearm instructors with ADTA. You can learn more about us at the end of the video. ADTA is the Armed Defense Training Association, which is a nonprofit located near Seattle, Washington, now in its 11th year. What you just saw was a clip from a video that we're going to discuss later. Wu and I will provide commentary on the video, and then we can talk about the drill and the skills that the trainees learned. Okay, so I'll do a brief introduction on this video. This was a good learning experience for me because this was the first time I ran this drill, and I'll touch on some of that commentary throughout. I think once we get into the video, a lot of it is kind of self-described what's going on. Would you want to add anything before we get rolling?
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. What I want to do is we have two couples that are going to be running through this drill, and I want you as instructors to see the differences between a couple who have not been together, kind of toss in to this drill and see how they react. And then there's another couple that's been together for a while and they know how each other would cooperate, etc. And you can see the difference between experience versus kind of a non-experience.
What we're going to do here is, the last exercise was really just doing two people at a time for size of the range and all. This time you're actually going to be working in pairs. So here's what I'd like to do. Barry, if you could help me out. Yep. All right, so we are going to be walking along in the mall or something because, bros like to hang out in the mall. Walking along, there's a threat. We need to run to cover. At this point, we know, in this case, we know there's a threat. We, since we're working together, know that neither of us are going to actually draw our firearm until the other guy is behind cover. Are we?
Right, yes.
Exactly. So when we get back here, we draw the firearm and then take a few shots. Now, here's what we'll do. I'll have whoever's going to be safeties decide which magazine goes in the shooter's guns. At some point, you're going to have to do an emergency reload. This is where communication comes in. If I'm shooting and I go dry, I need to convey that to my partner so he can continue giving cover fire while I'm reloading. I will yell, "Reloading!" so he knows to continue to shoot. I'll sit here.
All right, so that was a good point right there as my first learning part of this drill. So the important thing here, of course, as we're walking through this was you want to give clear instruction to your students or participants in the drill on where they need to be, safety aspects of it. You got to have all that nailed down. Make sure they understand where they need to be when they're shooting, and clear instructions. The part I missed on this was that communication is supposed to be two-way. So when you yell reloading, your partner is supposed to acknowledge reload. That's the instruction to you that they are ready to continue providing cover fire while you reload. So that works with all of the commands in here. I think you'll see a little bit later, some of that was actually picked up by some of the other participants. But that was a key element that was sort of missing out of here. Woo?
Yeah, there are a lot of communications and different styles of communications as well. And when I run these drills here on the reload, I try not to say reload. Sometimes it's two syllables. People stumble, and I just said loading, and the other person will know that you're loading. And when you are fully loaded, ready to go, I would have them say up. That means the magazine is up, seated in the well. So that means you are not fumbling around. You already found your magazine. What happens? Let's say you ran out of magazine on your carrier, but you have to reach through the back pocket to get it. There's time lag. So by saying up, then they know that you're ready to go, and you start helping out with the suppression fire.
Yeah, okay. So the important thing is there is at least know your partner and work with them so you know each other's commands.
Right, right.
Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Let's keep going.
And shoot. Okay. And then when we're both ready, at some point, I'll leave it up to y'all, whoever's in this position, that is your way out. That is the exit. You've stopped long enough to engage the threat to ensure you had time to identify an exit. The exit is behind that wall over there. At this point, I want the person in this position to yell, moving! That person will start running as this person provides cover fire. That person is not shooting while they're running.
They're in low ready?
Whatever. Just don't shoot while you're running. As a matter of fact, stay in low ready position, don't holster. Reality is you might have to shoot again. Safety reasons why I want to minimize the amount of shooting as we're moving. At this point, when I see he's over there, I'm going to say, moving. He's going to start shooting, and I am going to run to safety. Before I do that, I'm going to holster my firearm. I want y'all holstered, the person here holstered, before they move. I don't want to have anybody coming over here and having a gun in their hand.
All right. So there were some other obvious safety tidbits there. As I noted, when you're in a real defensive shooting situation, yeah, you're going to be shooting while you're moving. This was the first time for several of these people running this drill. So we really wanted to be cautious about not having too much going on at one time, especially the safety aspect about the person that was the second one moving across having a gun in their hand and possibly muzzling their partner as they came to the back. So it's important for instructors to know the skill level of your students and tailor the drill appropriately. Woo.
No, that's a very important point. And communications is going to get you, to where you're at there as far as working with each other, knowing, how you're going to run the drill. One of the things, as I'm looking at this thing is you don't have another person actually, Jeff, you're actually the other person. And I guess I was looking at that as being an issue, but, later on, you'll see how the partners are moving. I guess I would quit here.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So that sort of leads into this next bit, which is we've walked through and demonstrated it, but also we want to do a dry run because there are a lot of moving parts here, and we want to make sure everybody gets it down right before they start doing this with live guns. So let's go ahead and roll from there.
Okay, I know that's a lot of pieces. We've already done a lot of it. So let's have two people walk through it slowly. I will call what to do each time. So when y'all get back here and start to engage, basically when somebody runs dry, we'll wait. I'll provide direction.
I want to.
Okay, who wants to be my first pair?
To walk.
Okay. All right.
Right? You're gonna
Yeah.
walk.
Let's walk it dry. Just to get. Let's do it dry, just to get the hang of it.
I think we might be.
That's fine. Don't touch your guns. Finger guns only.
Finger guns on.
Finger guns only. Okay. You're walking along and there's a threat. Threat. Finger guns out. You start shooting. You start shooting.
Pew, pew.
Barry, you just ran out of ammo. Reloading! Keep shooting, Kira.
Bam, 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 bam.
Okay.
Pew, bam, pew,
At this point, Barry says, moving! Now you keep shooting, give him
bam,
color
bam,
fire.
Bam, bam, bam.
Okay. Now you say,
Moving.
holster your firearm
Holster. Pew, pew.
and run behind
Pew,
him.
pew, pew.
Behind
Pew,
him, behind
pew,
him.
pew, pew.
Far behind him. Keep
Oh.
your distance. Don't get too close.
pew.
Exactly. That's it.
Only stand and shoot.
All right, so.
Okay, so that was the dry run through. It was a good test you could see there to kind of work out some of the kinks before we ran everybody through it live. What I'm about to do here is configure Barry's magazines in his gun to place the one that's only got a few rounds in it. So basically, it's going to force him to experience a emergency reload much quicker in the setup. Woo, do you have any comments on this before we get going?
No, I think we're ready to keep rolling.
Okay, let's go.
Yes.
Ready?
Well, the tactical reload fits in later, right?
So that's adjusting the magic magazines.
Yeah, that's sort of cheating.
Well, I don't make sure I have one chamber. I have no idea what's below it.
All right, shooters, turn around, and face me. Y'all understand the drill. If there's any questions at any time, just stop. Okay, shooters ready? Threat!
Okay. Moving.
Reloading! Very good. Shooter, holster your firearm.
It's hard to hear you when you're all in a panic.
Now,
All right, let's go ahead and pause
Yeah.
there.
All right, how'd that feel?
Crazy.
Okay, so Barry has run this drill several times before, and you saw he had a pretty good handle on the commands. He actually picked up on the two-way commands there. You can obviously see where a little more practice is needed. You know, again, this is all the first time for some of these people. The timing of when the person is moving or reloading and what the other person needs to do is really important on this one, because when one person is moving or reloading, their partner needs to be providing cover fire constantly, and it was a little broken up in here. That's just part of learning the exercise. Woo.
That's true. Kara hasn't really been doing these types of events before, so it took her a little bit a while to make sure where Barry is and if she need to support him or not. So there was hesitation there. She's kind of looking over to see him. You know, what's going on? Can I move, etc. The other thing too, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and certainly there's a little breakdown in way of cover as well. And Kara has a tendency to push her gun past the plane of the cover as well. You notice that, and she's crowding the cover a little bit. So all these things, you know, come into play. So when you're teaching, have them especially like the finger gun, which was great because during the finger gun, they stood back and from the cover. But then when you actually run the live drill, you see there's a breakdown in that area, and this is something that you can talk to your students about.
Yeah, good learning moments there. All right, so we'll continue on here and see the next pair run through.
Like a blink, like
Okay, let's go ahead and reset. Shooters ready. Threat! Reloading! Moving! Reloading!
Oh, you're out. Suction.
Shooters, holster your firearm.
Good job.
Right. So that was really unfortunate, reloading and moving at the same time. Again, remember to use effective cover. There's two guys at you. The pie is a lot bigger. Your area is really small.
We got two guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so we saw two different styles there. The only thing I could say about the bad guys there is if they had to take that many rounds, they must have been wearing armor or something because there was a lot of bullets flying downrange. They were shooting an awful lot. They were a little more effective in that communication. Definitely though, with that many rounds going through the gun, probably a good opportunity for Randy would have been to, once he got to the other side and Doreen was still shooting, to do a tactical reload to make sure his gun was full because Doreen was about to come behind. You can see what the result was of not doing that. She got 2 steps into it and his gun ran dry. Lou?
There's a little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of hesitation there from Doreen in the way of saying moving, because she moved before she actually said that she was moving. So, Randy may not know that because he's focusing on the bad guys, that not realizing that she was already moving toward him. The other thing I'd like to kind of point out was both of the gals were shooting from both sides of cover, which was great because the bad guy hasn't any idea which side they're going to be coming out, with the shots. So it's good move.
Joining me now are Doreen and Kira, who you saw in the video.
hi there.
Hi, everyone.
So Kira, I'd like to hear your thoughts. What'd you get out of this video?
Well, for number one, I got an amazing rush. For me, always when we're doing these types of trainings, I'm focused on muscle memory. That's really important to me because if ever a real scenario does come up, you got one option and you're going to rely on your muscle memory. And so that's my focus and that's what I'm getting out of it.
So Doreen, what are your thoughts? What was your takeaways from this drill?
So the person I'm partnered with is my partner, and we kind of already have a game plan as far as how we carry when we go out. This drill made us think a little harder about how we communicate when we're out there. Right now, we know how we each carry, and we know if we are each carrying. What we didn't discuss was how we communicated. So this made us think a little bit harder about how we do this in the future. So,
Jeff, do you have any final thoughts on this video? Yeah, like I said at the beginning, this was the first time I ran this one. It was a good learning opportunity for me as an instructor. And the main thing you want to do is, go through these drills several times and get feedback, demonstrate it to somebody else to get their critical feedback. And what we do at the end of these live fire sessions is we have a roundup and ask for that feedback from the participants. And that's when it clicked that it was actually Doreen that told me, yeah, we run this before, but we usually have that communication going both ways. And then, the light bulb went on. So it was a good one for me. Woo.
Yeah, the big thing here is work on your communications, especially moving, loading, etc. Um, keep the words short and to the point. The thing to do is have a command given by one person and then the action by the other person. So let's say move, moving, or moving, move, the way this video was showing. So that way everybody knows their role during that time period. So work on that with your students. Make sure they communicate that way. And like I say, with the reloading, somebody's going to say loading and up once they're done, and so that the other person know that they're ready to go. Like I said earlier, if you have some issues, fumbling, or maybe you drop your magazine because of the stress level and you have to find your magazine on the ground, there's a delay there. So your partner need to know that you're ready. Okay.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate you tuning in. Our motivation for making these videos is to start conversations with other firearms instructors who are training beginners. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Tell us about your classes and events. And if you like what you saw, click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Well, thanks again for watching. We hope to see you all at the range.